Hello,
I'm Lofton.
and I'm Allie. Welcome to Warrior Network. We're going to talk about many things like school announcements, chapel leadership, and more.
We have a fun show planned for you. Welcome back.
The Veterans Day program yesterday was amazing.
It was. Remember to thank any veterans you see. I wonder how long it takes to plan these programs.
Sadly, I can't answer that question, but Sam created a video showing how much work it takes to be in chapel leadership.
Students should choose chapel leadership for a lot of reasons, but I think the main reason is so that they can learn, number one, some leadership skills. Number two, they can lead their peers in the middle school. And number three, they can learn how to plan a chapel and be able to speak in front of the student body. There's some great skills that go along with that. It is very difficult to speak in front of your peers, so if they can learn that in middle school, I think it's a great opportunity. Also, to be able to walk out their faith in a daily routine because they are noticed as leaders of the school, and so it gives them some responsibility in that area as well. So the beginning of chapel leadership actually was not my idea. It was Ms. Fowler's idea, and she approached me summer before last and asked me if I would be interested in leading a class for chapel leadership. And of course, there's a little bit of hesitation there when she first asked me, just because of it's a big jump to start a new class, but I know that in the end, I knew it would be something that would be really beneficial for the students. And so I jumped 2 feet all in, and so far it has been one of the best things, I think, for the middle school. The requirements for chapel leadership members is that they would be examples. Would love for them to know Christ and for that to show in their actions. Not only that, if they're up in front for chapel, that the students would recognize them as those leaders because of their actions in the hallways and in their classrooms. For 7th graders, the chapel leadership team will come around in the spring and they will do sort of a live commercial for them in their classroom to explain chapel leadership, and then there is an application, and then once I look through all of the applications, we have a number limit, and so we will take those that were first. And the students have to have references from other teachers, and so we're looking for students who are willing to be not only leaders in the classroom, but also leaders with their walk with Christ to be on the chapel leadership team.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
But the nice thing is that all that work creates a beautiful chapel experience.
You know what else is beautiful?
What?
The stage of the CLC.
Yeah, it is beautiful. That reminds me, Isaac and I created a musical theater video to show how much kids work in musical theater. And
My name is Sarah Lassiter. I am the Director of Musical Theater at the middle school and the high school. I have been in this role, this is my 4th year at the middle school and my 3rd year at the high school. The biggest part of what I do is getting to choose the show, and I do that based on a lot of criteria. I think about the kids that I have in the program, and I think about, the shows that have been done recently, and I try not to, repeat those. And then I get to work, I watch the show, I listen to the soundtrack, and I start to imagine what that could look like with the things that we have available to us and the space that we have available to us. So I start planning that out. I start thinking through costumes and set design and working with those different teams. All of that usually happens before I even see the cast or even see the kids and start rehearsing. I love it. So I did musical theater when I was a student, and I loved performing, and I still love performing, but it's been a really awesome experience to start being on the other side of that and getting to watch the theater students have those same experiences that I had and watch them get to put it all together and to kind of just mastermind it behind the scenes is really exciting. It's very fulfilling. Musical theater to me is a really cool picture of the body of Christ. because there are so many different kids and even adults from all different walks of life. You have people who can sew costumes and people who can paint and people who run all the tech side of things and people who love to dance and people who would prefer not to dance and would rather be in the back. But all of those people can use those different skill sets that they have been gifted with and put something together that can be really powerful. A lot. Musical theater requires a lot from a lot of people. So the kids, of course, are responsible for coming to rehearsal, to learning their material, to studying outside of school, practicing outside of school, memorizing things. The parents are responsible for, overseeing that process, for purchasing some of the costume pieces. We also have parents that will help build all of the sets, that will help organize concessions and tickets and all of the behind the scenes things that requires a ton of time. A wish list for the program. Something that I think we're going to need to do pretty soon in the future is purchase some new microphones. Our wireless body microphones are pretty old and are starting to show some wear and tear, so that's pretty top of my list right now. I would also hope for some more storage space where we can keep some props and costumes and things that we're just kind of running out of space for in order to allow the program to continue to grow and more kids to be involved. My favorite thing is getting to work with the same kids year after year, watching the kids, who start out with me in 6th grade and I don't know them yet, and getting to know them, getting to watch them kind of grow through the process of learning to sing and navigating voice change and all the other awkwardness of middle school, and just finding a place and a space in musical theater to kind of work together just like a sports team does, to pull all these different people together and grow all these skills and put on something they can be really proud of.
Again, wow. Hey, the first Elf musical show was yesterday.
It was. There was a show yesterday at 7 p.m. And today there's also a show at 7 p.m. And there are 2 shows tomorrow at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m.
Wow, I hope I can go. Should I bring anything?
Well, the Compassion Closet is joining CAK for help to get new clothes to give to those in need. So maybe you can bring some new undergarments and warm clothes in any size for those in need.
That's so kind of CAK, but where do I drop the clothes off?
There are barrels at the doors into the auditorium to drop off the clothes.
Well, after all the sitting in the chapel and looking at the theater makes me want to move. I wonder what sports news there is.
Hey guys, and welcome to Play by Play.
Tomorrow, the Tennessee football team will play New Mexico State.
And on the 17th, there will be a game against Emerald Academy.
CAK swim team also had an away game against Oak Ridge on the 11th. Good job to you guys.
Well, that's all we have. Now back to you.
Good bit of sports news.
Yes, it is. I wonder how they stayed warm after this overly cold week.
It was an awfully cold week this week.
Oh, school's over.
It is over, but we got to continue on with the show. It was awfully cold this week, though. We should check the weather to see if next week will...
Anyways, thank you. This week it was a little bit cooler, but this weekend it will warm up a bit. Today the low was 37 and the high was 64 and it was sunny. This weekend the high will be in the 60s and the low will be in the 40s. And on Monday it will be sunny again, with the low being 39 and the high being 60. Back to you.
Luckily, it will be much warmer this week.
Yes, we are lucky.
Well, that's it for today. See you soon at
Warrior Network.